Hello and welcome to Palace Intrigue. I am your host, Mark Francis. Prince William went for an early morning run in New York's Central Park. Wills was asked about it at the Earthshot Prize Innovation Summit. Previous winner Vaitea Cowan asked, "Is it true? Did you go running in Central Park this morning?" The royal runner replied, "I did, Vaitea, yes. I decided to join the hordes of New Yorkers doing their morning routine. It was wonderful waking up in New York on a sunny morning rather than the rain we had yesterday. It was beautiful getting some fresh air this morning. It's been wonderful to be back. I think 2014 was the last time I was here." The royal run took place at 7 a.m. William also visited the 10-house fire station, which is located downtown near the World Trade Center. 6 members of the firehouse were killed in the terrorist attacks in 2001. The west facade of the building features the FDNY Memorial Wall, which William viewed upon arrival. Hamza Ahmed, one of the firefighters who showed Prince William around during the visit, described the meeting to people. "He was very intrigued by everything. He had a lot of different questions. We discussed the helmets, where they come from, the embroidery with all the patches. He inquired about those as well. He discussed military stuff, first responder stuff. I always appreciate anybody who's interested in that because you do have to take an oath to put forth the service, and it takes a lot to go through that. It's really nice to see somebody who appreciates that." William got the full New York experience. The New York Times described a grey rat, long but not especially fat, which scurried the entire block of Liberty Street, hugging the curb. The rodent reached the front of the firehouse, found a sewer hole, and jumped in. Later in the day, William revealed the 15 finalists of this year's Earthshot contest. This year's awards ceremony will be held in Singapore on November 7th. Why Singapore? William said, "We want to get around the world. We want to see solutions in different places. We want to work with those existing ones while opening new chapters, new areas. I think Singapore is a gateway to the Southeast area. It's a new region. We know the innovation sectors there are huge and technology is booming there. Singapore is a city of nature, so they get it. So it's really exciting what's going to happen in Singapore. We take a lot of time and we try to work out where is the next place to go." New Yorkers seemed to enjoy the royal visit. The New York Post recapped how William shook hands with ecstatic supporters, posed for pictures, answered questions, and accepted gifts. Wills also exchanged a few laughs with the crowd before climbing back into his car with a wave, where he was then whisked off to Newark Airport. 6 friends from Canada happened to be in New York when they ran into the prince. Barb Patterson was celebrating her birthday and told people of the encounter. "This is so fun. He shook my hand and I said, 'I'm from Nova Scotia, Canada.' And he said, 'Nice.' And I told him my birthday's tomorrow. He goes, 'I won't ask how old.' And I whispered, 60. Then he went, 'We'll go with 50. He said, 'I hope you have a fantastic birthday.' He was lovely. He was so nice." Patterson tells people that she and her friends noticed a ton of security around. "I've never seen this type of security, so I knew it was someone big." They asked a cop who told them the answer. Barr's friend Heather, also 60, told people, "I didn't believe it when they told us he was coming, but when I saw him, my hair stood up on my arms. I had goosebumps. We told him it was a pleasure to meet him and that we were all turning 60 this year, and we came to New York City to celebrate together. He pointed to a few of us and joked and said we looked like trouble and all this stuff. He said, 'Have a great time and enjoy.'" Royal watcher Neil Sean compared William's trip with Harry's trip last week, telling Fox Digital, "It's all a case of class versus crass." When Harry and Meghan swept into New York last May, they flew in on a private jet and brought with them all the baggage and complaints they'd been carting around for years, he argued. The Sussexes seemed determined to prove that they, like Princess Diana, were being unfairly hounded by the press. Almost as if on cue, Harry and Meghan's visit climaxed with a purported 2-hour high-speed chase through the streets of Manhattan. A chase that, to anyone even vaguely familiar with the city, seemed improbable at best. What a drama. It was just another stop on Harry and Meghan's travelling grievance roadshow. Palace Intrigue will be right back. Meanwhile, the King and Queen headed to France to party with Mick Jagger. The plan was for a grand dinner at Versailles last night in the presence of over 150 guests in the Hall of Mirrors. ABC tells us on the menu, blue lobster and crab followed by breast poultry and gratin of cep mushrooms prepared respectively by French chefs Anne-Sophie Pic and Yannick Allegno, both awarded 3 Michelin stars. The cheese course will feature France's Comté and Britain's Stichelton blue cheese. For dessert, world-famous pastry chef Pierre Hermé will prepare his rose macaroon cookie composed of rose petal cream, raspberries, and light cheese. One report in the Daily Mail suggested Charles had banned some foods from the meal. A source said the king has banned foie gras from his residences in Britain, so there was no possibility of him eating it in France. He doesn't want asparagus that is out of season either, because shipping it in is environmentally damaging. But there will be a mushroom gratin, which was a favourite of Queen Elizabeth. We understand that Charles was out foraging for mushrooms just before his mother's death in Scotland. The VIP guest list included Rolling Stones frontman Mick Jagger, British actresses Charlotte Rampling and Kristen Scott Thomas, as well as French star Catherine Deneuve. Also invited French multi-billionaire Bernard Arnault, the richest man in the world. And there you have it. If you'd like to email us, our address is thepalaceintrigue@gmail.com. Please follow us on Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, your favorite app of choice. And head on over to YouTube if you haven't already and do a search for Palace Intrigue. You don't have to listen to the show again, but just hit that subscribe button. It would really help us out. I'm Mark Francis. My thanks to John McDermott. This is Palace Intrigue, and good times.